A lot of people say like, oh, the flu kills more people annually than the corona or COVID-19 is right now. But that's because no one really cares about the flu. It has a 0.1% mortality rate. So would the governments put in these measures to stop the flu from going around over 0.1%? Probably not.
Yeah.
But a virus, if this virus did affect as many people as the flu did, even at 3.4 or 5%, that's millions of people.
Yeah, and also I think a big factor that people are missing or not taking into account, because I've seen like a bunch of videos of doctors coming onto news stations and being like, it's literally a flu, blah, 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 which to some degree, like I agree with, like I'm not really afraid of getting it, but the spread rate is something that they're not really taking into account in a lot of the conversations I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like spreads way faster than the flu.
Because the coronavirus is different than a flu, right? Like the swine flu back in, when was that,
I forgot about that. We were
2007 or
alive for
something?
that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember.
It was like related to birds, wasn't it?
Swine.
I thought it was carried by birds or
Swine's
some shit.
a pig, I think.
Same shit. Literally, flying pig. Whatever.
No, I think it was grade 7 or 9 we were in. Because I remember I went to Korea during like the midst of swine flu and got like tested and shit in Korea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
So what is the difference between...
I just know that this one is a respiratory illness. Like the coronavirus targets your throat and then lungs, but a flu is more. I don't know.
Just like your...
It said symptoms are the same, but I read that the coronavirus is not a flu. Flu is not a coronavirus, but you could experience flu-like symptoms from the coronavirus.
Yeah, but a flu is not specifically attacking you, trying to give you like, what's it called? Pneumonia and shit.
Right. It doesn't target your lungs per se.
Yeah. So the flu actually, or not the flu, a coronavirus actually targets something.
This one does. COVID-19 at least.
Yeah.
Is like, at least I watched a video that said COVID-19 will target your throat, and it's something. There was a high statistic, like 90% of people will end up defeating the COVID virus at the throat stage before it even gets down into the lungs. Then once it hits the lungs is when it will cause fluid to build up, and then that will be when you have pneumonia. And then if your body reacts poorly, it'll produce massive amount of white blood cells, and that will cause your lungs to fill up even more, and then that's when you could possibly die.
Fuck.
I just think like, you know, I just think like all the shit they're telling you to do, I just find funny. It's like, oh, like drink water, like wash your hands, do the shit. It's like, people just don't fucking do that. And I forget like actually how little people even drink water. Like that's pretty much all I drink, and a lot of it all the time. But like people will go all day and not drink water for fucking 11 hours while they're at work, and then come home and smash a beer.
I'm guilty for not drinking water.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, like I drink so much and all the time, like probably every half an hour I have a sip of water. So I'm just kind of used to that stuff. But I also think like the way that it kills people and shit, it's like, man, like most people are just feeding themselves junk all the time. So your body is like all the time just getting rid of the toxins you're constantly putting in it. You're just eating shit, drinking beer, doing all that stuff. Your body is just spending all its energy to clear that out and like help you not just die from the general shit you put in yourself. Whereas like if you were to eat healthier and like a proper diet and drink water and do these things, it's probably very easy for you to fight it off. I don't know if it would even matter what age you were. I mean, obviously the older people, it's still harder, but I mean, man, some old people are pretty goddamn healthy. I've seen 60-year-olds that are in better shape than I am.
Yeah, no, I would totally agree. I think the funny part about that is that if they start quarantining people, which obviously they're doing, not here yet, but they're, I mean, kind of here, but like not really seriously. Around the world they are, though. If you start quarantining people like that, and then people are buying up all the food supply and shit, where's your fresh vegetables coming from? Nobody's really getting any real healthy food. They're eating like canned shit. That's just, so then it just makes it even worse. If you have it, like lower chances of being able to fight it off because you wouldn't have the necessary like healthy food to put in your system.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. I like that would honestly, my worst fear of it would be getting like quarantined or in the hospital. I would fucking run out of there. I wouldn't stay in the fucking hospital. Like, what are you gonna do? Smash me full of these shit ass drugs you don't even know if they work? Like, I'll just come home and drink goddamn orange juice every day and like, I don't know, take the chance.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it is that right now, like people are saying that, oh, like the mortality rate, or what is it? Is it mortality or fatality?
Mortality rate.
Okay, so the mortality rate is super low and saying all this stuff, but that's at current hospital conditions. And in China, the mortality rate's much higher, but that's because it's spreading, and we're only months away from that being a reality in North America and throughout Europe. Already, obviously, Italy and parts of Europe are already overthrown, but yeah, like it's basically it'll surpass the point where then the hospital won't be able to help you because there's too many people. And then at that point, then that's when the mortality rate continues to rise and rise and rise. And all of a sudden you thought it was 0.2% and now all of a sudden it's 3%. And then for, 60 plus, it's 25% or something. I don't know.
And everything so far has been done in a first world country. Imagine if this happened in an underdeveloped country, shitty medical, like mortality rate would go probably double.